Minute, while people perhaps choose to join me as I hang out on my couch in the middle of the night. Let's see if I can bring up the chat. Anyone is going to show up. There might be some like people in Europe. It's like, oh, it's early in the morning. Let's go ahead and check that out. See if the link actually tweeted out. It did not. That's okay. Bam. I can't read the chat right now. You guys are gonna have to give me a minute. So we'll just listen to that classic harp sound. Try to bring it up on my phone. There it is. What's up, guys? There we go. Yeah, it's a good night. I think for you European people, it's like early morning. Hopefully you're waking up and not going to bed. Like, I'm going to bed at 10 a.m. All good. So this is something that I actually do, and I talk about it in the new book. I always try to do something fun before I go to bed to like transition away from work. So I have a little gaming video coming out tomorrow on content gates. Should be fun. So yeah, JRPG fan says everything they added is dubious at best. Everything they changed drives me nuts. See, I don't have any care about what they did or didn't do. I really wanted to make a video actually, and I guess this is the video, is the coming nerd rage over this game. Like, I just don't see anything except like massive nerdy shit explosions online. It's gonna be like Star Wars again, but like a smaller group, because this isn't as big as Star Wars, obviously. But people are gonna be pissed that they changed stuff, and I just don't really care that much. I'm gonna enjoy it for whatever we got. We're going normal mode. We're not doing the game dev mode, easy mode. They're like, we asked for easy modes and you gave us one. It's too easy, man. We're just pressing buttons and getting through the game. Can't we at least feel like we're good at games? We want a difficulty level that's easy enough for games journalists, but makes a games journalist feel like they actually play games. Got the sound like cranked up on my Bear Dynamic headphones. Sounds good. Hello, Finland. Oh yeah, it's 11 a.m. and almost 11 in Finland. Yeah, you guys are... It's like a work day. If it weren't for quarantine. Oh, see, this is new. This isn't from the demo. I don't think. I think this is a little bit new. Looks good though. It's gonna look worse on your screen because it's, you know, PlayStation does like a 720p broadcast. Looks great on mine. It's like super sharp. Midgar looks like, I'm not sure if it looks more or less dystopian in the daylight. Right here. You know, it like reminds me of the city from Alita Battle Angel, like right here. Visually. There's that playground. I remember that playground. It's a good mixture. Like, you have the shiny windows and you have like the rundown buildings. I remember driving past this one area in Houston a couple weeks ago, and it was like that. You had these like bright shining skyscrapers, and then a block away You just had like abandoned buildings that like at one point were maybe, you know, like a department store, but it's just they had bars on the windows and then got abandoned completely. Like, I don't know what you do with modern buildings when they're done. Like, they don't... I guess you knock them down and build something else. Like, what do you do with 20th century blight? It's going to be a weird thing to think about. Logo illustration. Yoshitaka Amano did just the logo illustration. That's it, guys. That's all Amano did was the logo. I think the biggest thing people are angry about is the shrinkage of Tifa's breasts. See, I thought that was just like a non-issue. I'm like, I never really noticed she had big boobs in the original, and this one they're like, we're shrinking it. It's like, okay, they still look pretty big. It's, you know, they look like double D's rather than G's, maybe. That's the controversy. It'd be way too distracting if they didn't censor her. You also have to think, like, when you're drawing stuff with polygons, like low polygon count, all you can do is a gesture at what the real object is, and that's something that you have to recognize at the original game, is that it's just gestures for the visuals that you're seeing now. It's not really those visuals. So, in order to make a female character appear like she has breasts, you have to make them really pronounced. You have to gesture that she has breasts. And so you make them really stick out and point out like eye pokers. And especially you only have like maybe 10 polygons to make the breasts. So I think in the original game they're kind of like this pronounced mono breast. You know, like the cloth stretched between the breasts is, you know, just cuts down on the amount of polygons you have to show. And they actually did that with a show called Reboot. I don't know if you guys remember that. They demanded that they turn one of the characters' breasts, you know, normal anatomical female breasts, into a mono breast, like she had cloth stretched between them. But anyway, like it wouldn't be realistic if they just like brought that forward in HD. They had to design the character according to not the gesture, but I mean what the gesture really relates to. You know, Jessie here has breasts. She doesn't look any like less female because they're not gargantuan or something.
Get down here, Merc.
And there's also something about like cyberpunk to me when you have like this mixture of, say, English and you know, I'll just say Asian letters, like either Chinese or Japanese letters. It just really says like cyberpunk. I don't know why that's been mixed up in the aesthetic, but that's just kind of one of the things that's happened. I have a giant foam sword of this, by the way. Like, I have the Buster Sword. I got it at like a Halloween shop a while back. My son tells me it's not from this game. It's Conan's sword. So here we go. Oh, use...
You're coming with us.
Square
nice and easy.
attacks.
Don't think so. Not bad.
Pretty easy. I leveled up already. Man, I'll be level 2,000 by the end of this game.
Who in the hell? Hands where I can see them.
I do like the redone. This is all this stuff we saw in the demo, so I'm not that worried about missing any of it. I do like that they took the original soundtrack and just kind of did a new version of that. It's like a good mixture of old and new.
Enough of this.
Let's do that. Stab you in the heart with a sword which cannot stab. Okay, gotcha. Yes, I can check the map. Okay, gotcha. Jump over that. With the remake out, do you think we'll get a remake of Advent Children? I don't know. I can justify a remake of this because just on the graphical level, like the graphics were really rough. Like I said, they were just a gesture at what was really imagined, and now you really have an ability to do the real thing, and so that's kind of cool. and I think that's what a lot of fans really want. But I think you're just not going to satisfy the people who are really into this, because you can't do both, you know? Like, here's clear icicle water, it's mineral water. And then, like, up here there's some Chinese letters or something, right? So, like, it's just a weird mixture of these things, you know? Of, like, the Japanese letters, and, you know, Japanese letters do use Chinese letters too, by the way, guys, so, like, different kinds of kanji. Oh yeah, open chests with triangle. Why can't, oh, you know, you should probably just build an open chest with, like, everything should just be one button. I think they did that in one of the Dragon Age games. It's like, yeah, just press the action button. It's like, great. I could play this, I could play this with an Atari controller. One button does everything. Sweet. No guesswork for me. Alright. Smash this. Music sounds really good. I got a potion. Fat guy tells me to stop.
So what's Soldier Boy's deal? Is he one of us now? He's got balls, this, what was his name again?
Cloud Strife.
Right.
And he
Wouldn't mind the changes if you thought there was a payoff at some point. There might be. I think they're going to bring in like a time travel thing that lets you
I'm glad to have him.
not have Eris die or something, so that might be interesting. Have you ever seen the movie or played the video game City of Lost Children?
We're done.
I've seen the preview for the movie like 100 times, and I never watched the movie. I was on with some other movie I used to watch all the time at someone's house. I have very vivid memories of it, but
Looks are what people
I think that was during my drinking period, so the memories are not very clear. It's like a haze of being constantly inebriated for like several years.
Give it a rest.
It's like anytime the sun was down, it's like a hazy memory.
This crazy just for money. They may not think you're a true believer, but you know what I think.
Not interested.
What?
You know, I mean, let's be body positive about this guy, right? You know, he really doesn't look like a soldier, but you know, anyone could be a superhero, right? I do appreciate that he's like constantly huffing and puffing, and he actually acts like he's, you know, 300 pounds, 350 pounds.
You better be worth the money, Merc. Every last gill.
Wedge is legit voiced by Badger for Breaking Bad. I did not know that. I did not know that. I haven't seen Breaking Bad in so long. That's like the one series people point to. It's like, man, you can have a series be really good. I'm like, you can, but like most series are not. They start off good, maybe they have a good idea, and then they just milk it for years, and everybody's mad about how bad it gets. Let's see. Oh yeah, wait. I gotta. What do I do here? I gotta go with your first. How do I lock on? Oh yeah, click the stick. Click the stick. Let's do fire.
Need a light.
There we go. Dogs don't like fire, guys. Remember that in real life, okay? If you ever encounter wolves, it's like wolves do not like fire.
No escape. That's that. Hey! Looks like you're next.
I got that guy.
Let's go.
So there we go. Wolves hate fire. We'll remember that to min-max our excellence in this game. And whenever we encounter the dogs, we're gonna know that fire will kill them. It's a resilient dog, yeah. Well, I mean, this is a tough hombre that he's fighting dudes with guns, and all he's got is a giant hulking Gatsu sword, you know. So we'll get the sword from Berserk, but we'll make it single-edged, and we'll give it to a skinny twink. People will love him. I was like, I cannot believe it. Like, this realization of Cloud. I'm like, Cloud is a twink. Look at this guy, man. This guy's going. This guy's looking for a boyfriend.
Not so fast.
There's Charlie Sheen there from Platoon. It's not even a dog. Look at its tail. It's some other kind of crazy beast. Fire.
Time to burn.
And what do we do? A thrust. Wow, that was cool. It's like beating him up the stairs. The dogs are so much more heavily armored than the people. I remember that the concept art for him didn't appeal to me back in the 90s. I was like, how is this dude carrying this huge sword? Shouldn't he be like, look like Arnold or something? And like, nah. Nah, man, it's the 90s, and this is from Japan. So, it's all good.
That it?
We'll see, like, the overall aesthetics of the game definitely, they hold up, even though they're mostly, like I said, they're like a gesture as to what the developers were really imagining. This is more like just it. That's what they imagined, so. But I don't know, see, and here's the other thing, too, is like, if you're gonna make a remake, you might as well make it really different. Or is it that, well, if you got a remake, you gotta be completely true to the original? Well, it's like, which one is it? It's like, if you're gonna remake it, if you're gonna redo it top to bottom, new gameplay, new aesthetics, new mechanics, new story, why not? Just change up the story. If there's like story beats, and there's story beats in the original that I don't think are maybe that great, and there's good ones. You know, you
soldiers may attack on command.
Try to do the story a little better.
Make good guard dogs too. Bet you've seen a few reactions.
It's always funny. The elite group known as Soldier.
How do we get to the bridge above Mako storage?
Yeah, this gameplay would be good, Darkspawn, for a Conan the Barbarian game. Absolutely would be, or a Berserk game.
Or is he a loyal little doggy?
Man, he's so melodramatic, man.
Have it your
just
way,
like
Mutt.
screaming.
We can do this with you, or we can do this without you.
Different reactor, different layout. Depends when it was built.
Yeah,
Never
Final
seen one like
Fantasy,
this.
as Dimitri says, Final Fantasy always tries to do them in fresh ways, which kind of works in their favor. I think it does, and that's the thing that I kind of like about the Final Fantasy series is that they actually do new gameplay on every single game. Like, they're doing something different. Even going way back to, like, you know, Final Fantasy 2, 3, they were doing different gameplay. Final Fantasy 5 had the job systems, you know?
It's over.
All of them had different gameplay. Final Fantasy VII's gameplay was really basic, I remember, compared to this. There was good meta stuff, like with collecting materia, but the actual gameplay was pretty...
He's alone.
It was pretty basic. Alright, how do I guard?
We can take it. Make it rain.
That's that.
Anyway, this is fun.
Then let's move.
He always knows just what to
Have
say.
to have adult guts with lots of gore and sex. Yeah.
It's a good thing I know someone who can get us the passcodes. Pity no one else at command will talk to us, but what can you
I
do?
agree.
And we're good.
Yeah. So, like, I remember when Final Fantasy...
Careful in
What was it? Final Fantasy 12 came out, I was like, what is this?
I got this one covered.
But really, if you look back, they've always, like, taken chances with the actual gameplay system. It's not like Dragon Quest. Like, if you want the same gameplay every time, Dragon Quest is what you should play. And Dragon Quest is a great game. You know what you're getting with Dragon Quest, and that's what's great about it. Whereas Final Fantasy, you know, you're going to get something a little bit different and original.
So, you know Tifa, right? It's not really my business, but are you guys close?
Be a little bit standoffish there. Oh, this is great. This wasn't in the demo. I'm gonna shut up here.
Cloud! Are you ignoring me?
Tifa and I...
This was great. This wasn't in the demo. Good. I'm glad they had some stuff. I was like, man, I get to do the demo again. I thought the demo was great, by the way. It was an excellent idea of like a sample chapter. You get the player introduced to the characters, show them the aesthetics that you're working with, which are great. These aesthetics are awesome. You get them started on the story and show them all the gameplay.
These sewer rats appear to call themselves Avalanche.
I had no interest in this till I played the demo. Then I was like, I'm gonna buy this.
We are currently investigating whether they belong to the same
Which
group
game
that
system
made
do you
the
think would be
attempt on
best for an
your
actual
life.
Spawn game? This one looks good. I would look at
Rest
the game
assured,
mechanics
our
from
inquiries will not
the Devil
take
May
much
Cry
longer.
games, actually. I think you could probably do something like a
This
Spawn
vault's
game
sole
with those.
purpose is to drain the planet dry. While you sleep, while you eat, while you shit, it's here sucking up Mako.
I'm a big fan of the
It
original
doesn't rest, and it
Devil May
doesn't
Cry,
care.
but I haven't played a lot of the
You
later
do
entries.
realize what Mako is, don't you? Mako is the lifeblood of our world. The planet bleeds green.
Her
like you and me
breastplate is
bleed
kind of
red.
annoying.
The hell you
I think
gonna happen when
some
it's all
history
gone,
channels
huh?
have actually covered that,
Answer
like,
me.
if women were going to wear armor,
You gonna stand
they might
there
put
and
breasts on
pretend
it,
you can't
just
hear
like
the
how
flag
dudes would put
crying out
cod
in vain?
pieces.
I know you can.
You know, like big cod pieces
really
that
hear
looked
that?
like an erection, you know.
Damn straight
So
I
girls
do.
would probably do that to accentuate
help.
the fact that they were female. And people are like, you wouldn't do that because the arrows would
Say
like
that again.
bounce off the boobs into the middle of the chest piece, but that's actually wouldn't happen,
I'd
really.
worry less about the planet and more about the next 5
But I don't think her
seconds.
breastplate is all
Save
that
the screaming
protective.
for
If
later.
you're gonna get like realistic armor, you know, Cloud's wearing a tactical turtleneck with the sleeves cut off. It's not a lot of protection there. It's just there to look cool, and that's the way it's always been in these games.
Our lives are on the line now. You listening, Merc? One
Oh
false
man, look at
move.
that trigger discipline. I'm just gonna point my gun at an ally.
Well, so much for having Cloud do all the fighting.
Looks cool, like an American
There's some
movie.
places a sword just can't
You
reach.
would never do that. This guy clearly is not a soldier.
Just bear with him for me, would you?
I guess there's no trigger discipline when your arm is the gun, but still,
Should've
you don't.
asked for more money.
You wouldn't point your rifle at someone else that you didn't want to die. I get the drama. I don't mind it. It's just a funny thing. You know, he is going to be blasting robots with magic and swords, so just got to keep that in mind. All right. Okay.
Gonna throw your
I do
sword
like how
at him.
each,
Let the man with the gun go to work.
Each character really has kind of like some
Nothing on me. Now for the real.
some different gameplay mechanics here. Yeah, I got that. Let me get this one right here. I can do like a cure spell on Cloud. There we go. He's a healer. This guy's a healer with his. Did you guess he's a healer? I got this cool Gatling gun arm.
Suck on this. How'd you like that?
It's fun. Ooh. Oh, switch characters. I already forgot how to do this. Oh, okay, use the pad here, okay. I forgot how to play this game.
Do your job, Merc.
Shut up and move over. Call it fight.
Let's see, but yeah, it's a really good tutorial level.
Easy.
Look what we
Good
have
music
here.
going on here.
The laser security system.
You never point your gun at anything you're not prepared to shoot.
Pride if you're careless.
I remember like a Simpsons episode. This is the part of the gun that you point at whenever you want to die.
Anything before.
So it's true.
Figure out the timing of the lasers. Then, make a move when they cycle off.
Exactly. I'll go first. Nothing like a little danger to get the blood pumping.
Hey!
Just keep those baby blues of yours on me.
I think she has kind of a sexy voice. Alright. Gotta dash on through these lasers. In reality, you wouldn't see the lasers. You would just feel their heat. Lasers are really hard to, in real life, they're really hard to, like, make so that they are deadly. Other than to your eyesight. Like, they'll blind you. You can make, like, a 5-watt laser, the reflection off a white wall will permanently blind you. But, like, if you shoot a 5-watt blue laser at your arm, you just be like, that tickles. Lasers are weird. They're cool. Like the idea of weaponizing lasers for sure. Oops. I'm okay. I just walked into some lasers. And I'm gonna smash these boxes because I hate Shinra! Okay. But, alright. Be flying all over the place swinging with his chains. If we had a spawn, yeah, that would be sweet. You know, they've done a lot of spectacle fighters. A Spawn spectacle fighter would be pretty cool. I bet that'd be a lot of fun. And there's so many good Spawn stories, you know. Spawn really has a lot of classic stories. It's in here. Bottle of either. All right, we're gonna have to fight a robot here, guys.
We can take this up and jump.
That hunk of junk is a heavy weapons platform. If we rush in, we die.
Is that right?
Need to hit it with magic. That should give us an opening. Don't overdo it.
About damn time. Hit fire. Hey, it's not moving.
Let's pin it down. Give it
Am I
all
gonna-
you've got.
Time to fry.
My turn. Here we go.
I'm gonna do like Braver. Remember that?
He just had to get back up.
So we knock
Fire.
it down again. No time to complain.
I'm gonna do enemies who've been staggered take more damage. More damage.
Now's our chance. Go.
Don't need to tell me twice. I'm going to enjoy this.
It's over.
What are you? 20-something?
First. Soldier first class.
Oh yeah, this is a good little bit of dialogue where he's like, I don't remember my age.
I mean your age.
So I did that video on the unreliable narrator. This is totally like unreliable narrator. And that just like Cloud doesn't, you know, his memories are fractured. He doesn't really know who he is. He's just operating like almost according to programming. He just doesn't really want to accept the reality that he's not all with it mentally.
That's our target, the reactor core.
Yeah, it's like the tripod heat rays. You feel them but don't see them. Oh, Voices of the Void sequel win this year. So I'm coming out with the sequel to City of Silver. I'm editing that right now. Not right now, but currently in my current cycle.
Taste tobacco in here. Hurry up.
And then we'll get that out. And I have so many projects. I'll do Voices of the Void 2, which is going to be pretty different, I think.
Scared, huh?
Because it's going to be a little bit less solipsistic. You don't have like that unreliable narrator going through a mine, losing track of time, going insane. It's going to be a little bit different. We have a little bit more exploration of the world, the universe that Voices of the Void takes place in, and the greater cosmic conflict that's going on. Should be fun. Eternal Dream 3 should be out this year. And I might... I'm not going to say I'm going to do number 4 this year. Probably do number 4 early 2021. Because those are full-length books. Those are longer books. They're over, you know, they're in the 120,000 word range for most of them. This new one's going to be about that length, maybe longer. Should be fun.
Calling fire. Take the lead.
All right, watch and learn. How'd you like that?
There we go. So yeah, that one will be out. So I got a lot on the plate to come out with. People want audiobooks too, but like I really did a couple audiobooks recently, and I'll do more if I'm in the creative space where I can read an audiobook. Then we'll do that.
Need a light? Burn.
Burn.
All done.
How'd you little bastard, ain't you?
I'll be happy to do that. Bottle of ether. Alright, go down here. I love how the color palette slowly shifts to this green as you go deeper into this level. It's actually subtle, but it works really well. To get out in this green energy liquid. It's Mako, or I guess it's Mako. I always said it was Mako, you know, like Mako Shark.
Let's do this.
But again, like you were just reading words on a screen back in 1997, so. And I would just need a Ghost in the Shell game made with this mechanic system. Might be fun. I think
All right,
actually it'd be more
let's
like
see if little Steph
Metal Gear
really
Solid.
Can bite the hand that feeds.
You have some stealth
Go on,
mechanics.
Do the honors.
Is there any difference between
Prove to
writing
me you're the
for a
man
script
Tifa
for a
says
comic
you
and writing
are.
a script for a film?
That you're one of
A little
us.
bit.
Never said I was. I'm just here
Not
for the paycheck.
like you format it differently, but
Then do the
a lot of
damn
artists
job.
don't want you to format for panels. They just want a script, and then they decide what the panels are going to be. It just depends on the artist you're going to work with. I've never had an artist get upset. Of course, I don't really write a lot of scripts, but most artists don't get upset if you put panels. They'll just tell you, I might change these, and you should be okay with that. Same thing if you write a script for a director. You know, the director and the cinematographer are going to make decisions about how scenes are going to be, and they may change things. It may not be what you imagined, but that's their job. It's their job to make it into an actual film that works. You know, their expertise is constructing the whole product, and your expertise is really writing the dialogue. And let's do 20 minutes.
Pretty cocky, ain't you?
Yeah. Oh, here comes the boss fight.
Double crossing.
Heads up.
What?
I'm glad you like Voices of the Void. That was a very experimental piece of work for me. Oh, okay. Yeah, you gotta use health potions, yes.
It's got reinforced armor plating, but the internals can be overloaded. Lightning magic.
No other option, huh? The hell is this?
A target lock. Look out.
You're up.
Fight through it.
This is a potion. It's kind of like I can't just chug a potion. I gotta build up, power to chug a potion. That's a little bit different, I gotta say.
Gotta heal up.
Oh, you can use a potion too. Oh, he's got me! No! No! I'm bound!
Got anything you want to say? Funny way to ask for help. Hey, ain't there something you want to say to yours too? Gonna make your eyeballs pop. Hell yeah! You see the damage I did?
Keep it up. Brace yourself.
Oh, you gotta get out of that. Alright. So you gotta, if he does that thing, you gotta run away from that. Ouch.
Heal up and regroup.
Ouch. Wow, man, that is an agile robot.
The hell is that?
A barrier? Never seen this defense system before.
Thought you were the expert.
So what's your brilliant plan, genius?
It's my time to shine.
Or go down in flames.
Ah, there's the weak spot.
This thing is tough.
It wouldn't be much of a weapon if it went down easy.
Don't compliment the giant scorpion.
There!
Let's see if fire does anything.
Get off!
Oh, actually,
Don't just stand there. Help me
thunder.
out, damn it.
That didn't work either.
Check another potion.
Now, hit it hard and fast.
Oh, you're in for it now.
Just shoot! It's on you.
Need my help, do you?
Man. Barrett is, quite foul-mouthed. Alright. Look, I love how it's like this bullet time effect. I thought he was going to do an attack or something there.
Focus. Find a way.
Oh, Electro Stomp. Yeah, that's... You gotta pay attention. They like broadcast the moves. Oh, that's potion.
All good.
I'm drinking potions because I suck at this game.
Another barrier?
We gotta run around the back.
Deal with that.
Yeah, I'll do it. If we don't change it up soon, this thing's gonna kill us both.
Less talking, more shooting.
How about less miss from you? I'm counting on you.
Need to do something about these rules.
I totally can't see the chat right now. I'm like being quiet. I'm like, oh, I gotta not die here.
I'm gonna have to do this all by myself. Bring in the heat. Hell yeah, baby!
Now's our chance. Give it everything you've got. Don't overdo it.
All right, watch it look. Ooh, gotta love it.
Let's cure Cloud.
Putting an end to this shit.
I got this.
Well, that didn't do anything. Gator streamed the demo, no offense to him, but you're way better at the game. I don't know. I played the demo. I don't even remember how to. Luckily, they tell you all the moves up in the corner. I just don't even like focus on the moves at all. Like, oh yeah, I can walk on with the R3 there.
Take cover behind that debris.
All right, get over here, bud. Just chill out for a minute. Let's see here. Make a potion. Here.
Now, go.
Need to pay attention to that. Wait, how do I block? Oh, that's guard. Okay. There we go. Okay, gotcha.
Gotta memorize the attack patterns.
Limit burst. That's that EM burst. Man, I really don't have a lot of time to react to that. Wow. Man, that really hurt.
Be careful.
Yeah, it's like I don't even remember how to block. Yeah, gotta block during those. I'm pretty sure you could like flawless this guy pretty easy if you actually knew what was up.
I see it.
Then take cover already.
He's gonna blow me up, guys.
Now, go.
So yeah, you gotta block during that, get away during that, but I can't like stop mid-attack. There we go. Now it's a little bit less.
We need to heal up soon.
A little bit less embarrassing.
Find an opening. Incoming. Take cover.
There's really no other option.
Want to get shot? Be my guest.
Might as well drink the potions.
Right.
Sure, there's more potions in the game.
Bring it. Now, go. No escape.
That all you got?
I'm waiting.
Run out for the EMP. Yeah, see. There we go. See now I'm embarrassing myself a lot less.
Calling fire.
Still like losing health. All of my
I have a chance.
correct management of the
Here comes the laser.
I know. All I gotta do is hide, right?
If you know, then do it.
Alright, let's see if we can get this.
Now.
Come on! Where's he going now? Oh no! It's like form number 3! Of course there's 20 different forms, it's a Final Fantasy boss!
Oh, hey, what's it doing now?
An auto repair unit. Damn it. We gotta take it out quick or we're screwed.
Right leg.
Oh, I am way ahead of you, Murph.
Gotta time our attacks just right. Hold out until you spot an opening.
I gotta chug another potion. Clearly I'm bad at this game.
Don't let up. It's down. Rain hell on it.
Ain't gotta tell me twice.
Ah, that EM field, I just can't like get it.
I'll end this. Gotta heal up.
pure... Yeah, pure Cloud, man.
Take the lead.
Guess it's my time now. And down goes another.
Yeah, I really need to switch to the other characters enough, more. Oh, here we go. Cross slash.
Words.
This should finish him off, right?
It's not gonna go down easy. Focus.
Level up! Let's watch the cutscene and I can look at the chat. Scorpion Sentinel defeated. How OP do you think Sephiroth's gonna be? I don't know if he'll be super OP. I mean... He's pretty OP in the original.
Shit, the ball.
But like, I think... What I remember, it's been a long time since I played it, but... By the time you get to the, like, the final battles... You have like that Knights of the Round materia. You know, you can like summon that.
You hear that?
It takes like 20 minutes for it to go off, but it just kills everything.
We've got to move.
You like that 999 limit break.
Wedge be covering our way out. Go, go, go!
Now this really, I remember the original game, this was such a tense thing, was to do an RPG with a time limit. I was just like, oh my gosh, no. Like, made you want to menu really fast, but the time limit was totally reasonable. It was really hard to run out of, it's actually really hard to run out of time. And it's actually very hard to run out of time, I think, in this section here, too. But it just, man, it just really felt tense. Like, whenever there's a timer up on the screen, really ups the intensity. You can use that for a lot of different, like, storytelling techniques, too. Whenever you make it seem like, oh, we have 2 minutes to do this, it just, you know, it ups the danger of what you're doing. Yeah, there's that. I don't remember what. I don't remember the Final Fantasy VIII summons, but yeah, there was one that was longer, I think. Did Final Fantasy VI have time limits? I don't remember now. I think there were some. But like the beginning of Final Fantasy VII having this, it really made it feel like the game was throwing you into it with both feet, rather than, you know, what tends to happen with JRPGs is you kind of start off as a noob.
Hey,
you know,
we'll link up over there.
it's actually something I now that I think about it, a lot of Final Fantasy games don't do that. They start you off with a powerful character and then kind of bust that character down a little bit. And they didn't really do that with this one. They never made you feel like he was busted down. It was just, you know, the game got progressively harder, but he never really felt like underpowered or anything. But like Final Fantasy IV, you know, you start off as Cecil and you're like a Dark Knight, you have all this power, and then you end up becoming, you know, like a paladin. It's just kind of an interesting thing. It's like you start off super powerful, but it's the wrong kind of power. It's like evil power. You have to get good power. Speaking of unreliable narrators, ever heard of the theory that Final Fantasy VIII is basically an occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge? I haven't. But I haven't. But I don't really remember Final Fantasy VIII. I remember people not liking it, and I think maybe me is part of that group. But I just don't really remember it. Man, Barrett's really, I mean, he's really jamming up that. Oh, okay, I could sprint up the ladder. That makes sense. If there was ever a time to sprint up the ladder, it's when the factory complex is exploding around you. You should totally go up that ladder at maximum speed.
Find us a way out of here.
But then...
Don't worry, I'll be fine. I've got Soldier Boy with me.
A soldier in all caps, just like the original. I always thought it was so silly that they called their group Soldier. But they didn't change it, you know, they didn't change it, even though it's a stupid name.
Cool it. 5 seconds is all we need.
Oh, that didn't do anything. I was too far away. Oh. You gotta stand next to him. There we go. Crush you this time. Oh, you already dead that time. Okay. Still didn't do anything. There we go. Fire. Alright, here we go. Sprint up the stairs. But this really does look like what, you know, what I imagined it would look like. That's pretty cool. Oh, another one of these. Another one of these guys.
No escape.
Need my help, do you? Golden opportunity right here. Time to fry.
I got this. Calling fire. Going in. Brace yourself. Get ready. It's over.
All right.
Not bad.
Easier the second time. More boxes. Break the boxes. You have to break the boxes, guys. Break all the boxes. But we're running out of time. I already got that chest. It didn't respawn. No. Okay. And I remember in the original, you could actually go the wrong way in a number of places here. And it was like, it was a thing. Yeah, you could take the wrong, in one of the subway levels, like you could go down the wrong way and just, there would be endless Shinra guards. And they would just never, ever stop. You know?
That's that. Let's go.
And I thought it was cool that the game had that. Alright. Let's go up the stairs. Wait. Excuse me, I need to break more boxes. Barrett, sorry. This is my thing. Let's break the boxes. More boxes. Break the boxes. I obtained a Moogle medal. A Moogle medal. I don't know what a Moogle medal does. Oh, look at this guy.
Here we go.
See if this guy will.
Anytime now.
I think if you guard against this guy.
Get a load of this.
You're done.
How that works. Barrett leveled up.
Ain't got nothing on me. This is some bullshit right here.
Shut up.
He does have a potty mouth, man. Ooh.
No escape.
You don't look so good. Take care of those wounds before you bleed out.
Oh, see, I'm like dying again here.
Right. Get ready. I see you. Going in. Won't last long. Sorry. You're done. Now you're in for it.
Yeah. Oh, there's a... Spells. Cure! Cure me! Fire.
Burn. Deal with that.
All right. Watch and learn. See ya.
Alright.
Not bad.
It's kind of fun to stream without a camera on me, too, you know? Like, I could totally be naked right now, guys, and you would never know. You would never, ever know. Unless I told you. Or I could pick my nose. I could just, like, pick my nose right now. Yeah, 20 minutes is so much time to actually do this section. If you were to design a video game, what type would it be? RPG. Probably like an older CRPG, like what they used to have. Most of my favorite games are RPGs, I think. Or tactical RPGs are probably my favorite, so as far as gameplay goes. Yeah, now see, this is like a story thing that people are like, I don't understand this. Like, why are they blowing up their own reactor?
Come on.
It's like, this didn't happen in the original. It's like, well, this is... people are calling it like a Han shot first moment. But it doesn't matter. Like, to Barrett, he's still blowing it up. He doesn't... You know, it doesn't make him any worse or better. It's just... It's something to pique your interest and make you think, well, what is Shinra doing here? Like, why do they want this blown up? You know, it's kind of a mystery box. It's a mystery box. And hopefully we don't find that the mystery boxes have been pooped in. You don't want to poop in your mystery boxes. Yeah, this is really great.
Can you walk?
If I couldn't, believe me, you'd be the first to know.
Have you read the Meta Barons? I have not. I have not read it. But maybe I'll check it out. Comics are great. Like, comics you can read really fast. That's what I like about it. It's the same as maybe reading a movie script or watching a movie. You can get a lot of story through comics because you don't waste time with prose. It's just dialogue and you just see visually what's there, just like a movie. So reading comics, you can read a lot of comics or a lot of manga really fast. One of the things I do like about it. Yeah, see, this is great. I love the kind of like helter-skelter aesthetics. Like the cars look like they're from the 50s. The other stuff looks like it's ultra modern. It's great.
Looks like we made it. And with nothing but a few scratches to show.
Zach Boyd, I like how you're saying.
Think you might have overdone it.
Yeah, I like what you're saying. It makes Avalanche worse terrorists.
Maybe it triggered a reaction with the Mako?
Well,
Yeah, it's worse than they wanted. You're right.
One piece.
But the planet's what matters, right? I mean, this must have helped some.
After all that, it had better have. Anyway, let's
Maybe
get
this is like a 9/11 moment, you know?
That'd be just
It's an
down
inside job. I'm gonna make it worse than it was.
Lead the way.
there. You got it.
I love how there's the jewel in the Buster Sword.
Watch out for
Like
live
from the
wires.
materia.
They're
It's great.
everywhere.
What happens if I go this way, guys?
Ugh. The air in
Can't
here
run.
reeks. Can't wait to get out in the open.
Yeah, this is great. Very immersive.
Man, what is that?
Can't wait for them to come out with
So
the
foul.
Final Fantasy VII Remake
Oh,
VR.
It's me. Gotta do something about that. And soon.
What time is it? Yeah, it's about time for me to go to bed, guys. I'll get past this little section and
Fuck that one in my guts.
Just keep on coming.
We need to get out of this place.
that's great.
Was it the Mako density? The primary explosive? The blasting agent?
Oh, he can
we
kind of
figure
walk
that
a little
out later.
faster if you hold down sprint.
I'm running on empty here.
You can refuel at the base.
Next time I'll have to bring a little pick-me-up.
The fat character's hungry.
How much farther do we have to go?
Not far.
I love it. Open the chest. Final Fantasy VII Remake VR Special Edition.
That's about as good a place as any.
Stand back then. I'll set the bomb.
Can't wait to see
Is this
you
where they're
out
at,
there.
or did I miss
Can't
them?
wait to take a hot shower.
Are they up here? Here they are. Okay.
She's good to go.
This game really does look fantastic. I think this is the best PS4 game visually I've seen. It really feels like a different level of fidelity from
Let that be a lesson to anything that gets in my way.
what we saw when this system launched. And I'm playing on a launch PS4, by the way.
Attention all citizens.
You know, this is not a PS4 Pro,
This is an alert from the Shinra Emergency Operations Center.
and it looks great.
Unidentified intruders have detonated a bomb inside Mako Reactor 1. Multiple explosions have been confirmed, as well as ongoing fire. In response, a disaster warning has been issued in sectors 1 and 8. Structures in the area are at high risk of collapse, rendering the entire sector hazardous. Therefore,
Cloud should definitely come to Soul Calibur 7. There's gonna be like 100 Soul. He should come to Smash Bros. Is he in? He's probably in Smash Bros.
But what if it was?
Yeah.
What's done is done.
Merc's right. It ain't pretty, but we can't stop now. This was just the first reactor, and the planet won't be safe till we get the rest.
Yeah. We always knew this was gonna get messy.
Yeah, you get to see a lot more of the
This is
human
only the
toll here.
beginning.
It's great.
Y'all gotta look at the bigger picture here.
That's the whole thing. They are
Nothing worth
terrorists,
fighting
but
for
they're
was ever won without sacrifice.
eco-terrorists.
Though
But
you may not be crying out,
they have
I
to
know
think about
you're
the
in pain,
consequences of
just
what
like
they're
the
doing,
planet.
which is great.
But it's okay, cause I'm here for you, to help take the load off your shoulders. Your fears, your worries, your concerns, and yes, your feelings. Whatever your problem, I got you.
So, what's our next move, boss?
That's easy enough. We get our asses home.
Are there more boxes for me to smash? This game's about smashing boxes. Alright, I'm gonna call it 2 a.m. my time. Which is gonna be like noon Finland.
Got it?
Later then.
You guys could go have lunch in Finland. And I'm gonna go to bed really late.
You can have it once we're back at base.
Where's my money? I don't have it with me.
Yoo-hoo. I don't need to tell you what this is, right?
You need to tell me.
It's healing materia.
Ah.
You can have it.
This is a great example of what I call expositional dialogue.
Just doing my job. Nothing more.
They're saying things they already know
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
benefit of you, the
Fact
audience.
is, I'm lucky you were there.
Survival can be a matter of luck or skill. And you can't rely on luck.
Words to live by.
Yeah, well, thanks.
You do know how to use it, right?
You do know what I was, right?
As you well know. Alright, materia unlocked. Begin tutorial. Materia is now set. This ends the tutorial. Wow, there was a tutorial for putting a green orb, just like pressing 2 buttons to put a green orb in the sword. But, you know, you gotta remember, there's gonna be games journalists playing this. They need a tutorial for this stuff. It's not, they're not gonna figure it out otherwise. Got my bronze bangle. I want a Bengal cat pet. What's my pre-order bonus? I got this from Best Buy. Do I get like do I get a kitty pet to follow me around? Like, what's my free garbage DLC for buying this from Best Buy? All right, I can't save yet.
Okay, I was only trying to help.
Yeah, I know you were.
Here's a little something extra for being so brave. That really was the ride of a lifetime. Well, see you on the train.
She gave me a bottle of ether. So, man, I was hoping she'd give me something else. Yeah. Alright. I am going to save this game. That's a great picture of him, too. That's a really good picture. His eyes look great. He's cute. Alright. Guys, it's a saved game. 1 hour into it, I could finally save the game. It's awesome. It's like over 200 people watching in the middle of the night. Clearly, people in Europe like me. You like me. Alright. So, my initial impressions are I'm having a good time. So, I'm probably going to stream this more tomorrow at some point. Try to do like a Saturday stream, because I think it's a good day and it's fun. And I don't know if I'll do Oblivion. I was having a lot of fun with Oblivion and people like that. There's always something weird to do in Oblivion, and I know that game inside and out. So I'm like, oh yeah. Oh, it turns out, let me show you where you can pick up this cool helmet. It's pretty good at level 1, you know. Let me check out the chat real quick before I say goodnight. Hopefully I sound good and clear. I actually hooked up my Yeti mic to my PlayStation, and it seems like it sounds really good when I was looking at the test stream. I'm playing Dragon Quest, so it seems like it's really good. So I'm going to keep doing this, and it has really good headphone drivers in it. So I have my Bear Dynamic headphones on. This game sounds awesome. The sound design on this is good. I got to give the sound design a lot of thumbs up. It sounds like the original, but just really kind of pumped up. Great fidelity. Yeah, so good. Thanks for feedback on the sound. I'd rather have it be just direct instructions to the player as opposed to dialogue. Yeah, they try to incorporate the saving into the game with Kupos. Yeah, the Kupos are like, you guys remember like Naming Wary for, I think it was Final Fantasy IV. Like, he kept changing what he did, but it was just a way to do tutorials in the game, just to tell you how to do stuff. Here, I'm the saving guy. It's like, turns out I can't save, and I'm mapping way. I'm this, you know. It was pretty funny. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of awkward expositional dialogue. It's not that bad, though. I mean, it's really hard to avoid expositional dialogue in a fantasy movie or a fantasy game, and the reason is because you're dealing with world building that's really complex, and complex world building, you either have to explain it directly, and you don't have that tool of prose. When you're writing a book, you have prose, and you can say things so much more clearly with prose. You can communicate much more clearly ideas and relationships with prose. With a visual medium, whether it's a movie or like this with a game, you're doing pretty much all the work you're doing visually. You're doing it visually and through dialogue. So you're now, your visuals can communicate a lot. Like, I mean, this communicates a ton. There's so much communication in this visual design. It's amazing. But you can't tell me the ideas of how Shinra works without the dialogue. So you have to do some expositional dialogue. It's very hard to avoid. You know, you could tell a lot with visuals, but you can't tell everything, especially things with fantasy that have cultural ideas, complex ideas to them. It's really hard. So just bear that in mind. I don't think it's better than the OG, but it's still pretty darn good in terms of OST for Dimitri. I think it's very good. The OG is, I mean, there's so much nostalgia with it. It's hard to compare them across because you're looking at something that's fully realized with an orchestra and band. You know, it's max fidelity, whereas you were dealing still with MIDI music basically back in 1997. You know, it's a lot harder to compare those things. And the same thing, it's like the comparisons are really hard to make as far as story's going to be, aesthetics, everything, because it's like comparing cave drawings to, you know, Roman frescoes, right? What do you shouldn't really compare them. Like the caveman drew it with pigment he invented, and the Roman is dealing with 500 years of tradition. You know, it's really hard. We've advanced so much with technology lately. It's really hard to do. One thing you can do is have scenes around a campfire where one old character is telling a story to a young character. So I went over this in a video. Robert E. Howard did this in the very first Cole story, called Cole, Exile of Atlantis. It's in the Cole, Exile of Atlantis collection. I did a video on it. That's exactly what he does. It's an older character talking to Cole and a younger character, and they are discussing the mythology of their people, and some things with like these tiger-skinned people that live on Atlantis, this island of barbarian savages. And it's really effective. Robert E. Howard was excellent at it. So if you want, if you want to see somebody who's really good at it, Robert E. Howard was able to communicate so much about his world through just passing dialogue and very short prose in his short stories. It's very efficient. So if you're looking to see how you can do that efficiently with dialogue, even though it's not a script, you know, you're not dealing with a movie, Robert E. Howard is definitely like one of the gold standards. Stephen King also does a lot of work with dialogue very well. That's why his books tend to translate to movies really well, even if as a book they might be, you know, flawed compared to something that's more tightly plotted. He does dialogue really well, and he's very good at that kind of indirect exposition through dialogue that you're not really aware is happening. He's very good at it. So he's another one to look at. That's one of the reasons I think he's successful. He's very good at dialogue and characters. So, have you read The King in Yellow? That book deserves more attention. I don't think I have, but I'll put it on the list to take a look at. There's so much stuff to read, you know. So much stuff to read. Witcher 3 with Vesemir. You know, the original Witcher used the amnesia thing, and that really allowed you to do exactly what we're talking about. This expositional dialogue, kind of indirect. You could do indirect dialogue because Geralt can't remember who he is. So because Geralt can't remember who he is, you know, these other Witchers, they have to teach him how to do it, you know. Trist has to tell him what's going on. Trist has to tell him where they're going. All that kind of stuff. Vesemir has to tell him how to cook up potions, and, you know. I really love the atmosphere of that first Witcher game. I know you guys like Witcher 3. I've actually never played Witcher 3. I bought it, but I haven't gotten to play it. I think because the time, 100-hour game sounds kind of intimidating. But the first one has such good atmosphere with such low fidelity graphics. It really is an interesting mix of things. So check it out if you've never played the original. You know, there's like, they have all these really hideous NPCs in the original Witcher game, but it was made by like 8 dudes on a budget. You know, it was crafted with love. So I still appreciate it. Let's see here. Alright guys, I think I'm going to, because it's about 2 a.m., I'm going to kill the stream. I really appreciate you coming by and watching and chatting with me about stories and stuff. I'm looking forward to exploring this story and seeing what they do with it. I am not so attached to Final Fantasy VII, the original, that I'm going to care if they change stuff or they do stuff differently or they execute things differently, or even if characters are a little bit different. It's not going to matter that much to me. So for me, that's all going to be okay. But I am anticipating like a nerd war over changes, because there's going to be people who are nerds about this stuff, that like Final Fantasy VII is something they love, and so any kind of change to it is going to be really upsetting and offensive. It'd be like, and you know, it's like the George Lucas special editions of Star Wars. Like, you go back and those changes, when I first saw those changes, I didn't like them at all, and I still don't really like them. But some people got really upset about them, you know, because of the changes that happened, especially like the Han shot first thing. You don't like changes to something that you have a lot of love for, and I understand that. So I'm kind of expecting like a bit of a war over people that are really intense about loving Final Fantasy VII, and other people like me who are just kind of like, I liked it. It was a good game. And I played it again last year. I actually have a chapter in my book that deals with it a little bit, because about this time last year, we had our daughter, and she had this weak esophageal sphincter. I'll just tell you the story before I go. And so she had this infant reflux. The only way she could sleep was sitting up, basically being held by mom or dad. And I bought this easy chair at Costco like a couple weeks before my wife gave birth, just kind of on a whim. We're like, this might be a good chair to hold the baby in, you know. Boy, that chair, and I'm looking at it right now. I'm not sitting in it. I'm sitting on my couch because it's like more in front of my TV. But that chair saved our life, because we had to take turns holding that baby so she could sleep, and we had to sleep in shifts. And of course, my son was 3 years old at the time. He of course was a 3-year-old. He needed a lot of care too. So I was so bored. I was so bored holding this baby. I couldn't sleep in a chair. My wife could, but I mean, I can't sleep in a chair holding like an 8-pound infant. I just couldn't do it. So I basically gave up on working. I had just put out a book called The Crown of Sight. You can actually get it free in the Corona-chan anthology. If you guys pick that up, it's free. You can just search Corona-chan Spreading the Love on Amazon. You get it for free for the ebook, or you can get the physical for like $6, $6.24, I think. Anyway, so I had just put out that book. Then my daughter was born literally 2 days later. So I launched the book, and then the baby came. And I had all these grand ideas for this next book I was going to work on, and it just wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to happen because I was too exhausted from just this one little thing with the baby needing just a little bit more care than probably is normal. So what I found out was, I could quietly watch TV. So I watched like some anime and stuff on Netflix or whatever, and that was really good, because I just never let myself watch TV shows and never let myself watch movies. I'm just a workaholic. I'm constantly working, and this is why it's so fun to just play this game for a few hours. I'm always working. I'm always focused on work, and I have like anxiety if I'm not working my butt off all the time. But I couldn't, so I just let it go. I just let go having to do work. And I said, I'm not going to worry about work until I can worry about work again. And the controllers for the Wii, or not for the Wii, the Nintendo Switch. The controllers for the Nintendo Switch are as such that you can hold them in two hands. That was the only way I could play a game, was I could hold the baby and have a controller in each hand separately. And that allowed me to play a game. And my friend Mike was like, you gotta play the Final Fantasy VII on Switch. You could get it. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I'll just get it. Why not? And so I got it, and I played through the game, and I was like, this really was a pretty good game. Most of it really does hold up well. It's not perfect. It's not my favorite Final Fantasy probably, but it is good. It's a really good game, and it was very ambitious for the time with its aesthetics and its story. And so it was really good to go back and look at that with fresh eyes, kind of separated from the nostalgia of it by time, and it was great. And so I was really, really thankful for that experience, because if my daughter had not needed me to hold her from, whenever I let my wife felt like she needed to sleep, which was about like 10 o'clock at night to about 4 in the morning was when I was up with the baby. So whenever, I was super thankful for that time, even though it's exhausting. I got to do things that I normally don't let myself do because I'm too focused on like being a workaholic. I'm way too focused on doing work sometimes. And so it's really just, I'm really thankful for that. So I thought I'd share that story with you. I talk about it a little bit in the new book, Keys to Prolific Creativity. Growth happens through trauma. It doesn't happen just like through happy, good times. Stress creates growth. You go to the gym, you lift weights, you get sore, you hurt, it's hard to work out. You experience physical pain, and the pain makes you bigger and stronger. That which does not kill you makes you stronger. you know. And that is Conan, by the way. Like, I mean, that sums up Conan. It's just he's made stronger and better by having to endure pain and endure, you know, tax his body to the limits. That's why he's such a great hero. That's why Guts is such a great hero too. But anyway, you grow through trauma. So when a bad thing happens to you, that's an opportunity for growth. When you fail at something, that's an opportunity for growth. When something is not working, that's an opportunity for growth. It's an opportunity to reevaluate what you're doing. Forces you to do things differently.
I said look up! Not that way, right! Not that way!
I was just telling me which way to look up. All right, guys, I'm gonna kill it there. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for a couple hours, and I'll be around tomorrow. Yeah, let me know what you want to see and what you want to hear in the comments. If you're watching this after the fact, I really appreciate the attention, and I'll see you guys next time. The newest book is called Keys to Prolific Creativity. It's out on Amazon. Ebooks $2.99. I think I don't remember how much the paperback is. I think $7.99 for the paperback, and it's a good book, hopefully to help you refine your creative process and really, you know, enjoy the process of putting out work. Okay, so thanks so much, and I think I will see you guys next time.